Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a Sunday evening live stream here in Moscow region, here in Russia. Now, if you aren't aware, I'm Russell from the channel that you're watching, Traveling with Russell. Either you're watching this for the first time or you're a subscriber or a channel member. Thank you so much for joining me on a Sunday evening here in Moscow. It's just gone 8 p.m. here. It's currently 4 Celsius outside. Actually, it probably feels about 0 or +1 or 2 Celsius. I went out a little bit earlier to get some food for dinner, and it was cold. And actually, I stopped to chat to 2 channel subscribers, one in the shop where I went to. And then as I was walking down the street, someone recognized me like 1 street from my house. So and we sort of chatted. The second guy I chatted to for about half an hour because he was very curious about the channel and, why I created it. So, yeah, welcome everybody. Hope you're having a good Sunday, pretty much evening or even Monday morning if you're in maybe Australia, New Zealand, or in America, Canada, maybe lunchtime over there, or if you're here in Moscow or somewhere in Russia. Let me know where you're watching from, and I hope you enjoy the live stream. Now, I do have a couple of questions to ask I've got a poll, and I'll talk about the poll in a little while, and it'll make a bit of sense. Obviously, if you voted already, I'm sorry that you can't change it unless we make a new poll. If you've watched previous live streams, particularly the last one, I talked about the fact that where we live here now, this is a new apartment that we moved into that we bought recently with a little bit of help from everybody, and it doesn't have an oven. And at present, we're also in the process of figuring out what we can do about the main bay window because we don't have proper blackout curtains. And obviously, if you're aware about the Northern Hemisphere summers, you get long evenings. And even now, 8 o'clock at night, the light is still coming in because it's not dark outside. So we need curtains, we need an oven, and we need to figure out what to do. So I have a question about that, and I'll just talk about that. And what was the second one I had? I've forgotten already. My gosh. Yes. Now, at the end of the live stream, if you like, we can put a new video on the channel straight away, or I can, and you can watch it. And it was a very popular poll answer when I asked about what the next video should be. And it was about the new Evolga 4.0 train, which is on the Moscow Metropolitan Train Network. And I managed to go and film that last week. And I actually had to do it in 2 different days because when I went to go catch the train, I was running late for it and I couldn't do the introduction. So I went back a couple of days later and filmed it and then put it together, and it's on the channel now, ready to go. And it's sitting there unlisted. So if you want to watch that afterwards, let me know and I'll definitely put it on for everybody. I'll probably put it on anyway. But if we don't do a long live stream, you can have a chance to watch me twice, if that makes sense. So yeah, a few people here early. Kafia, nice name. I'm not a big fan of Kafia, if that is your actual name or just your Telegram or YouTube name. Hello, Kat. Welcome for becoming a member. Thank you so much. The membership that I have is basically more of a way for people who watch the channel to just support the channel as a way of saying thank you for watching my videos. There is a few emojis that you can use. And of course, your name gets a little highlighted on the screen as well. So yeah, thanks, Kat. Russia is beautiful. Yes, I agree. Even though it's a bit cool today, we need some warmer weather. Now, if you are typing in Russian, I can't read it. So hopefully you're just typing something nice and friendly. So I can't read it back or read it out because I can't read it. I can try to sometimes, like maybe that's Privyet. Creative Fee. Hello, I enjoy your videos. Thank you. Hello from Seattle. 65 degrees and sunny. Now, today was pretty much cloudy, a little bit gloomy. Probably not gloomy because gloomy is a little bit more winter style. This is spring. Peter, hello. Also a channel member. Good to see you here. Hello. Oh, gosh. I should have figured out. I think. Adequate Xiaomi guy. Yes, you're here. Adequate Xiaomi guy, who's also a very big supporter of the channel. I do actually have a way if you want to support the channel through things like donations. So there is, if you're pretty much anywhere in the world, probably barring Russia, I think, you have the opportunity to do super chats or super stickers on a live stream. And if you're watching a video any time of the day or night, you can also use super thanks. Super sticker, super thanks, super chats. Super chats are in the live stream. And then if you're anywhere else in the world and you want to use alternative ways to support the channel or things that I'm doing or initiatives or whatever you'd like, there is donation alerts. So there's a pinned comment. It's also in every description of every video. Donation alerts are something that comes instantly to the content creator, reasonably instantly, pretty much the next day, technically, it would come to me in my Russian bank account. And also the Boosty, which I don't really talk about Boosty, but it's set up. It's in the pinned comment as well. And that's an instant donation, if you like. Where you do super chats and things like that, it goes into the AdSense of YouTube and it comes back to the creator pretty much about a month and a half later, which it doesn't really worry me either way. Because it's set up that I can actually get it, if that makes sense. I don't like to really talk about it excessively, but people do ask me a lot. And yeah, so donation alerts, I can see a tab open on my second screen, which in real life it's on this side, but I'm pointing over here. I should flip around the screen so that I'm pointing in the right direction so I can actually see when people do them. You can actually tell how long ago since I did a live stream. It was 18 days ago was my last live stream. That was pretty much when the last donation alerts came in. Someone sent one anonymous 13 days ago. So whoever you are, anonymous, thank you. You don't have to mention your name in the description of those. So it always leaves me wondering, and that's just how it is. Yeah, so yeah, that's there for you. Creative Faye, hello. Have you encountered any issues while filming in Russia? I'm planning to film while I'm in Moscow. What would you say not to film while in Russia? Don't film military objects. Don't film things that are of significant importance. I forget how they say that. There's a certain word like objects of importance. Actually, technically in the metro, you can film with a phone. You can't film with camera gear and what looks like TV gear and kind of professional looking cameras, or even cameras with microphones and all sorts of things. I wouldn't be pointing it at kind of maybe military or police or anybody that's wearing a fairly significant uniform, but otherwise, no problems at all. Occasionally, someone might say something, but otherwise, it's allowed to film pretty much in about 99% of places in Russia. So you shouldn't have a problem. And if you're here to come boxing, isn't it Joshua Anthony is the boxer? Anthony Josh? Nope. Hope. Hello. Yo, Russell. Hello. Stephen. You and your wife. Are you in? How are you enjoying your new apartment, New York? Here. Oh, good to see you in New York. It's very good. It's very nice that it's our place. We've not done too much more since we initially moved in because we're trying to basically budget for things that we want to do. We've got a bit of a list. And of course, like everybody in the whole world, we've got commitments that we need to take care of as on a monthly basis. But yeah, it's nice. We'd like to do things a little bit quicker, but things have to wait. But yeah, we're loving it. I would say we're loving it. We like it. We love it. I mean, it's our place. If I could show you out the window, can you see the orange just here in the background of this glass panel? So that's the sunset that comes straight from the, I guess, westerly facing windows that we have. So it's kind of an orange sunset coming through the clouds. And that's what we do love about this apartment too, is that we get that nice view. 25 degrees in Netherlands. Much warmer. Peter, thank you also. Peter, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my words mixed up. Thank you for 25 degrees. That's much different to 4 Celsius. It says 4 on my computer, but it's real feel about maybe 0, 1, 2 degrees. Australian guy. The Progosian. I wonder if you're the Progosian. And Vitali's here, who's the channel administrator, or I think that's what it's called on this, isn't it? Moderator on this. He's also very heavily involved in the Telegram chat. So if anybody wants to join us on Telegram, there's a channel and a chat, and there's lots of goings on there. All right, so so what's going on there? Why would that do that? Okay, so yeah, Kat, thank you for becoming a member. My two different screens have two different scrolling chats running, and so it shows one thing on one and then not on the other, so it kind of throws me off. And Peter, thank you for the super sticker. And actually, I don't know if anyone notices, you can actually put thumbs up on someone's super sticker, and he's got 3 thumbs up on it. So thank you if someone's put a like on his thumbs up. Can you please show the view from your window? I can't because I'm now in a separate room. So I would love to show you it, but I can't. Have I got a sunset photo? Or an old photo of on my phone? I must have, because I take a bunch of them. So I've got a bunch of photos. Excuse my sticky fingers on my screen. So that's basically the view out the window. We've got the church right there. And then kind of behind the church would be the train station, the Prelivka D4 station. And that essentially would be the view if we looked out the window right now, pretty much give or take. So, yeah, that's kind of once the sun's gone. You can see the church a little bit more. Pretty much it's a housing area. Pretty much the building we're in is apartments, but the area opposite our building is all normal houses. We're not really a normal thing for Russia, but yeah. Oh gosh, Russia's so beautiful. Enjoy your videos. When I skip ahead, I always get behind. Hi, Australian. Oh, Australian. Watching from UAE. Moved 3 years back from Sydney. Wow. I wonder how you handle that hot weather there, though. Do they have 40, 50 degrees? Good day as well. Soul Spirit, hello. Why is it so dark outside, Russell? Well, I'm now in this place. I'm not technically in the lounge or kitchen anymore. It's like a separate bedroom. So those glass blocks are the blocks that go to the other room, and then there'll be the bay window and then the kitchen window there. So if I put the bedroom light on, it's a little bit brighter. But I've got just my filming light on here. How exciting on moving? Yeah, it's probably coming up to 2 months, month and a half since we actually moved in. Bebel Cruising, hello. Thank you so much for being here. I have a complaint. Why are your videos about the parade? Why was there your okay? Where was your video about the parade on the 9th of May? So Olga, I was traveling for 3 days. So if you follow me on Telegram, you'd have seen that I went traveling. I went to Tula, Lipetsk, and Oral, to some supermarket grand openings. We went to 3 supermarket openings in 2 days, and I will have a video about the 3rd supermarket, which was the one that had the biggest crowd there, which was really surprising for us when we turned up, because we got there 10 minutes before the ribbon cutting, and it was just crazy the amount of people that were at that shopping center. Well, crazy for a supermarket opening. So yeah, I wasn't in Moscow for the Victory Day parade. It's pretty much closed off everywhere in Moscow during that day, kind of leading up to it, and then the day of. And it's just very difficult to get footage of vehicles. Pretty much you're only going to see vehicles passing down a street. So many of the entrances and exits of the metro stations nearby the Red Square area is blocked off. So you can't really get great footage of it. And it's not a comfortable kind of day walking in Moscow when you're kind of stuck trying to go this direction. You can't go this direction. You got to go that direction. So I didn't film, or I didn't go to film because I wasn't actually in Moscow for it. So yeah, no view from the window. You sound hoarse. Get well soon. Yeah. So pretty much those 2 days when we traveled, we didn't get a lot of sleep. We went to, we were at the store for it was basically a brand new store opening. So we stayed there until 4:30 in the morning. Went to the hotel. Literally, we came back, met for breakfast at 8, came back at 8:30. Store opened at 10. We got in the car 10:30, drove to the other store to open that at 2 p.m., and then drove back to Moscow that night. So I think I've got a little bit of sniffle from being in the refrigerator and the freezer a little bit longer than I needed to be. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha mahalo. Hawaii. Oh my gosh. Jealous your weather. I like it cool and cloudy and rainy. I like the four seasons in Moscow. That's very distinct. And actually, I was chatting to somebody yesterday about this, and that's what he loved about Moscow, the four seasons. Cheremunsky, Moscow. Cheremunsky. I enjoy watching your videos. It's good that you show us the whole world more modern Russia looks like. Maybe you'll film Moscow city skyscrapers. Well, I just had a video about an apartment there. And a video pretty much 2 or 3 earlier than that was me walking across the embankment and then I forgot the name of the bridge, Bagratron Bridge that goes to Moscow City. How have you lived there so long without learning Russian? I don't have a lot of interaction with people. Pretty much those couple of days traveling to these supermarkets I did, because nobody spoke English, barring the one guy that I went there with in the car. There was actually 3 of us. There was 2 passengers and the driver. And the driver didn't speak a word of English we were in the car probably, 12, 15 hours of 36 hours. So, yeah, I do know some words and I can make enough words to create some sentences. From gloomy New Jersey. My gosh. I was watching a YouTube channel called Long Island Audits. And it's a guy that films himself going into government buildings, particularly in New York, and talks to the people and interacts with them where they tell him he can't film and he can. Called Long Island Audits. Checking in from the Bay Area. Yes. Bearable cruising. A few people in the US watching. Yeah, nice haircut. So this was really nice. Going back 4 days ago, before I got in the car to drive down to Tula, because I knew I was going to need to look nice to be for the person that I was traveling with. So, yes, it's kind of worn off a little now and I need to shave again. But yeah, the hair looks better when it's cut. Absolutely does. 30 degrees in Abu Dhabi at 9 p.m. Ooh, we'd love that temperature in Moscow. Kat from Florida. And Jay in Thailand. Thailand Jay. Hello. Love the train video. That was very impressive. Yes. So I actually had it as a members video and I've just clicked it back to unlisted. So if you've watched it in time, Kat, I put it as unlisted because I thought I could put it as the premiere video going into the next after I finish the live stream, but apparently I can't. You can put a video to come when the live stream finishes, but I can't click it for some reason. So yeah, I saw that there's about 5 views. There was a couple of comments. So Indianapolis, it's like a future city located in Tatarstan. Ooh. Okay. Indianapolis. Did you mention a comment on another? I think I've read this word somewhere else. Did you comment somewhere else about it? Actually, question about Bali. I lived there from 16 to 18. Also originally from Russia, Penza. I'm stuck in New Zealand for the foreseeable future. Bali, well, from New Zealand to Bali, it's a bit of a trip. It's probably 7 or 8 hour flight. I'm from Perth, so it was 3 hours, 20 minutes from Perth to Bali, return or one way. So nice and easy. What's going on with my highlighted comments today? Why are they not highlighting? That's very strange. I can do a heart, but then I can't hide the current comment. Sorry, I want to put your super chat on the screen straight away, and it's meant to highlight it so I can see it without missing the list of comments. Hi from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Sunny on 65. You ever seen Ivan's YouTube channel? Now living in Thailand. He makes a fortune going live. I met and know Ivan personally. He lived in the next town from me, technically. I'm in a Prelivka. He was the next, roughly a town or 2 towns away from where we live from each other, not more than 15 minutes away. I could actually catch a public bus to where he lived. And I met him going back before he left to Turkey, and then afterwards a couple of times. If you might watch my Selgros hypermarket video, he might just appear in the background of it. We went there together to check it out, and we went to Kuzny-Tochka for lunch. So yeah, I watch occasionally his videos. He's puts them out about every few days. I don't seem to catch his live streams because he unlists his live streams, so I don't get to watch them on replay unless I happen to catch them live. Yeah, I guess we all wish we could make a fortune from going live, but I don't. So it is what it is, right? I mean, thank you for your donation, and pretty much the money that I make from live streams goes back into the live stream. So buying equipment, buying lights, cameras, cables, new power plug. When I went to Uzbekistan to Tashkent, I bought new Samsung plugs, like power plugs. What do you call them? Chargers and things like that. So yeah, I guess I'm not proactive enough in telling people to, I need Milky Way money. Everyone should pay for my Milky Ways. My wife said I can only have 2 Milky Ways today. So she brought me 2 Milky Ways for me, and that's it. That's my limit for today now. I didn't have chocolate actually yesterday or today. We had family visiting from Ufa for a couple of days, and their young son is very active, and I couldn't really have any chocolate or food or snacks around while he was here. So this will be my first chocolate in 2 days. Look, I'm shaking. So yes, I definitely know Ivan or Ivan. Actually, Ivan. Yeah, his name. It's Ivan when you read it, right? Ivan. Yeah, I guess he's just got a certain way of doing it and talking and things like that I'm probably not as proactive about. Let me just I'll try and catch up with the chat, and then we'll talk about things. And Antonio, how is it so dark outside? Well, it's not dark. It's just that fact that I'm in a room without a main window here because it's a bedroom basically. Soul Spirit. Antonio, thank you. Congratulations on your new flat. It was exciting to move. It's probably actually the day you get the keys the most exciting, right? Maybe saddest day is signing the papers in the bank, for your mortgage and stuff like that. And then all of your deposit kind of goes out of your bank account. That's the sad day. Then the happy day is getting the keys, and then moving is obviously a little bit difficult, but oh no. Okay. Oh, sorry, everybody. Watch you from ages. How about Russian daily food? You have your favorite meals. Hello from Japan. Sergey, hello. Arigato. Prelivka ilashimasei. Well, this is where I live. So yeah, my wife made borscht soup today. Actually, I went out and bought the meat from the butcher, and she made borscht soup. She pretty much, we have like a slow cooker. I don't know what that's called, slow cooker. So she did that before she went to work. She had a couple of bookings, and then she came back and I bought. So we've bought an air fryer. If anyone doesn't know, I posted on Telegram, and I did pork ribs. I got like a piece of pork ribs. Okay, you don't have to do a whole lot to put it in there and press play. But I had pork ribs, and I did mushrooms in there too, like garlic mushrooms. Yeah, I'm a little bit probably boring food-wise. I'm not probably as adventurous as I should be, considering all the nice food here. Russian Comic Con. If I could know the dates and I can get a press ticket, I absolutely would go there. That's the main challenge, is knowing when things are, because they're not overly advertised maybe in the Telegram groups I follow. So yeah, if I knew about it. If Olga is coming today, Vlad or Lad. So oh gosh, I'm getting confused here. Kat has already watched it. She's a channel member, and it was on there as a members video. Now it's sitting unlisted. So it's sitting there ready to go right after this live stream's ended. Gleb, hello. Oh, Gleb. Привет. Is this Gleb? Gleb? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is Gleb in Privyet. Yes. Здравствуйте. Очень приятно. Simple channel. Hello. Live, although I'm Russian, I'm also a Kiwi and I've lived there less than you. It makes me so sad. I feel like such an outsider in New Zealand. Have a look, see if there's any Facebook groups of Russians in New Zealand or Russians in Auckland or Christchurch. In Perth, where I'm from, my wife and I are in a Facebook group. Speaking Russian in Perth is the name of the group. And I'm sure there'll be New Zealand Facebook groups with Russians, Ukrainians. There's quite a few groups for Perth, actually. There's even like a ladies only speaking Russian group that my wife's part of. I'd love to come to St. Petersburg if I can figure out getting there and doing something and getting back. Probably security risk as well. Not sure. Not really. From Ontario, Canada. Hello, James. Mine is 6. Cheech. I'm not sure where that is. Los Angeles, Roberto. Hello. I've been to the airport quite a lot of times. In LAX, they call it, right? Love your channel. Thank you, Davika. Vika. Thank you. Do they have high Wi-Fi in Hawaii? I hope they do. Well, you need a very long cable running from LA to Honolulu, wouldn't you? Do I get discounts in the stores I make videos in? No, I don't. I pay normal price. Actually, when I went to the store where we were there overnight, I asked the guy, "Can I get a Coca-Cola?" They had Polish Coca-Cola there, and then Belarus Pepsi. And I said, "Look, I'll pay for it tomorrow, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no worries. Just take whatever you need off the shelf, right?" It was a whole supermarket, huge place. And then when I went to pay for it the next day, I wanted to get another one, so I went to the register to pay, and it was the self checkout, and they've got a weighing scale, so you scan one, put it down, it detects the weight, and I wanted to change it to quantity, and then the guy said, "Oh, you need to bring the second item," so to go back to the shelf to grab another one to pay for 2. But yeah, no discounts. Yes, basically whatever the price is, I'm more than happy to pay and not expect things for free. That's that's the way it is. From Korolov, May meetup was fun. Oh, hello. Yes, I did post one photo in our little group. Yeah, my wife enjoyed it as well. Although she isn't obviously a fan of YouTube as a thing, meeting other people and chatting was really nice as well. And I hope we obviously everyone got home okay and everything. No, people don't assume I'm Russian because I probably don't look Russian. I do try to dress Russian, like with a jacket and beanie and gloves when it's in winter and stuff. So I try to look local when I go out and dress, not wear shorts when it's cold and flip flops and things like that. Yeah, so not. Yeah, you can even when I look at other people, I can tell where someone's from Moscow or Russian or from one of the CIS countries. You can kind of get that kind of sense just looking at people. I know that's might seem difficult, but it's possible. So, hello from Boston. Which part? Hello in Indonesia. Abakaba, Bagus. Which places have you visited other than Bali? Gili Air, Gili Trawangan, Gili Meno, and over to Lombok. We actually, when we go to Gili Air, we fly from Bali to Lombok, and then we take the car down to Bangsal Harbor, and then take the boat over to Gili Air, and that's pretty much it. I think I've been to Jakarta maybe once with family when I was very young, but I can't remember really that highlighted. I guess if you get put on the screen. Where's your Frio jacket? My Frio jacket's in the cupboard. Actually, I saw that just now because I rearranged the coat hangers. We had to hang some family clothes up from the last couple of days. So I put all my coat hangers back from the other place. And I saw my jacket there. I've got a polo shirt from the Dockers. Minnesota, 81. Beautiful. Greetings from Amsterdam. I've been in Russia probably, I always say 9 years to everybody. When I originally came the first time, it was 9 years ago. That was when my wife first invited me. I came for a few holidays a couple of times in a row. I was working on cruise ships back then. Ivan has okay, no worries. Yeah, I mean, look, he's got his way of doing videos. About him traveling out of the country, coming back, going out, coming back. I actually, I've messaged him. He messaged me about the camera that I'm using. He noticed I've got a different microphone on, so I just let him know what camera I had. Pretty much, that's just mutual conversation with each other. But I haven't seen him, well, at least a year. It was pretty much right when he came back from Turkey when I saw him last. Yeah, my wife. She went there with me to this reopening or the opening. But we didn't end up getting anything. We went to look at the curtains while we were there at the same time. We bought something in the other store, the one next to it, which is where the IKEA City used to be. That was a huge shop that I didn't realize was there at the time. It's just too far to go though for us from where we live to these stores to buy things. It was a little bit closer. It'd be a bit more convenient to go there. You're a very nice man. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you so much. Love your channel. What I appreciate is that you keep your political views to yourself. Yes. Lately, there are a handful of YouTube foreigners in Russia who sadly don't. Dave in Saratov. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, it's something that I keep outside of the channel. I mean, if I met you in person and we had a conversation, or I meet people on the street, like today, met 2 people. Yesterday, even when we went walking yesterday in Moscow. No, yesterday I went filming. The day before, when my family's been here, my wife's cousin, I call it my family, right? They were here for 3 days from Ufa. They drove from Ufa, and this morning they left at 8 a.m. this morning to drive back to Ufa. They'll get back after midnight tonight. It's about 3 more hours. We met a subscriber. Well, he and we went to see the Eternal Flame at Alexander Garden, and we met another subscriber there, and we have a chat, right? I mean, anybody who wants to talk about things, and if the conversation comes up about views about the government or political things or what's happening in the world, of course we'll talk about it, right? I mean, I saw the Australian Bushmaster at Victory Park, right? I mean, what can I say other than talk about the price of it and things like that? But yeah, thanks. It's definitely something that I avoid in videos because it's not really a part of the content that I make. So excuse me for a second. Oh. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I blessed myself. Anonymous, thank you for doing. I'm going to have to click. Greetings from Moscow from Anonymous. Thank you for donation alerts 2 minutes ago. It works. Donation alerts works. Thank you. So 13 days ago, someone sent anonymous and anonymous again today. And then 18 days ago was when the live stream was. There was quite a few sent at that time. So thank you. Hello. I'm pretty sure you're saying nice things, but I can't. It says Russell on the last part. So thank you so much. Saratov, Belfast, Ireland. Brian, hello. Winnery. Will you ever make a video of car sharing, local gym equipment, or cooking? I'd love to do one about car sharing. I'm not rented a car in a while. I have got a Belka car account to do car sharing. Local gym equipment, I don't go to the gym. You probably can see that, everybody. I should. Cooking, I'm not really a big cook. I really don't. Using this air fryer is the extent of my cooking. So, hello in Tumin. Hello, my mum, my wife's friend who lives in Aprelivka here is from Tumin. She lives here in Aprelivka. Greetings from Germany. I'm not going back to Australia, Tom, this summer, which would be kind of the end of the year right now because it's winter. Unless somebody generously wants to send me there and bring me back. Because we just bought this place, we've got quite a few other commitments now that we need to figure out. I've got a residency visa, So I'm on the first stage of 2 stages of the visa for Russia. There's the first one is 3 years, and then the next one is essentially indefinite. So we just need to go through that. We were waiting to finish doing all the papers for the house and get this out the way, and then we're going to now start that step or process of the permanent residency. Did you turn on the heating? Well, it's basically a building heating, and they did actually turn on the central heating, yes. So we've got central heating in the lounge and kitchen. So that's gone back on now for about 4 or 5 days, I think. They did mention they were going to turn it on and then gradually turn up the heat when they restart the boiler rooms. So yeah, the central heating is definitely on. And in the bathroom, we've got a heated towel rail, which is through the hot water supply from our bathroom. So that's permanently on. But the central heating was off because of the end of winter, and it's gone back on again because of the cooler weather. Kelly, hello in Cleveland. OHIO. Have you ever heard about the new expat village outside of Moscow? I've heard about it for since probably 10 years that I've been coming here, living here. Yeah, I think it's an American guy that keeps talking about it, and I keep hearing about it, and that's about it. So it doesn't really need to be an expat village. You can buy a house in any village, and it probably isn't going to be any different. I guess the fact that there's more expats that would live there. Definitely hugely more affordable. Yes. Roughly for this apartment, we haven't got the first bill yet because it's a little bit delayed when you first move in. It's going to be about 2,000 rubles, 2,500, about $25 a month for electricity. We don't have gas in this building because it's a new building. Pretty much gas is only in older buildings. Any new building and modern building, they don't put gas in. So electricity and water is what we'd pay for this building. And internet is $6 a month for unlimited Wi-Fi. I'm trying to learn more Russian. Reading it, I can read some letters to make words. And that's as much as it is. I'm sorry, Bear. Moscow since 1972. It is funny to say, but because of your channel, I discovered a replacement for IKEA, which left. Thank you. Yes, Sergey. So there's now 3 of them. 3. So the one that I just did the recent video on, I need to remember the names of places. So the 3 of them, there's Enkel. So you can look at the different IKEA. Just type IKEA in the search of my channel. Enkel is the one in Butova. There's just one store. There's also one in St. Petersburg. And then Svedhouse is the one at Shelkovskaya metro station at the shopping center. That's Svedhouse. I actually went to the opening of that one. I went there as a shopper, and then they kind of realized I was a blogger and let me in earlier by about half an hour. And then the recent one that I was there at, there's 2 locations. I'm trying to think where the first one was. I can't remember every location of every place of everything. One's in, where did I go to that one? Good luck. There's one in Romancevo station in the homeware center there, and then the other one we went to in the video, there's an address in the description. Big Tumin is watching you. Oh, hello. A few people in Tumin. They helped me practice English. Target is B2. Hello from Armenia. Alexei, hello. Здравствуйте. Yeah, I don't know how this B1, B2 thing works. Pretty much because I don't teach it. I just have conversations with people. So I voted fly to Bali because you will eventually get the curtains and oven regardless. The trip to Bali, of course, can be done anytime too, but it will mean more for you and your wife for much longer. Yeah, so let's talk about that since we caught up, Jackie, with the chat. So pretty much I'm sure people have voted and it's all over now. But so we need an oven for this apartment. We've now got this air fryer, which we love. We should have bought one 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So easy to use. Put something in, close the lid, press play, done. I want to get spring rolls, by the way. And then we've got some sweet and sour sauce. My wife's like, where do we buy spring rolls from in Russia? Most frozen sections in Russia don't have a big selection of frozen things. Yeah, mini spring rolls. So curtains, we need to get a new track to put curtains up, like a net curtain and then a blackout curtain. But we want to get the track properly made, not buying one off the shelf, because I can't install it with my IKEA screwdriver. So that's basically one idea, to do that with basically money that we like from anonymous donation alerts, super chats. Pretty much it goes into the apartment fund now. And then the flight to Bali on May, it's next month. On June the 15th. Actually, it's a month. Well, it's 5 weeks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks yesterday. In 5 weeks' time yesterday, it's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. 50 years wedding anniversary. On the 15th of June. And I'm pretty sure that's the exact date. I'm not sure now. But anyway, they'll be in June in Bali from the 10th of June for 2 weeks. So mum and dad were going there for their 50th wedding anniversary. And now my sister and husband are going because they thought it was a good idea to go and have the kind of like a dinner and everything for their anniversary. And then now my auntie in England, I've got my mum's sister lives in England with her husband. She's flying from England to Bali to meet for this wedding anniversary, 50 years wedding anniversary. So we would love to go to Bali. It wouldn't be an Australia trip and Bali trip like we did last year. It would just be a Bali trip there and back. And it would be basically that we would fly with China Eastern or China Southern Airlines. There's two different China airlines. The price for Qatar and Emirates is very high at the moment, higher than normal. So I'm not sure if it's seasonal that it's a higher price. We would love to fly Qatar Airways, of course, because we just enjoy that airline. We enjoy the airport. We know what that service offers. This China ones, we don't know much about. People have flown it before. A travel agent we talked to knows about it. I mean, basically, it's 2 flights with a connection in China, but it's more affordable. But the question is, I guess the poll's 50-50, but I guess not knowing the poll, what I put the question on beforehand, it's a matter of being able to fund it. Basically, most of the cost is the return flight tickets. We can find cheap places to stay, which wouldn't really be a factor. And we'd end up probably going for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to Bali, because to go just for a few days is way too far for a couple of days, but we'd go for at least a week, probably 2 weeks. Or B2. Oh, there you go. So that was the idea of the poll. And, both, Jackie, makes sense. Absolutely. Curtains and oven would be eventually, right. We've got a list of things. We've done the bathroom things that we need to do to make it all normal. We can live without an oven literally, but now we've got this air fryer. It's more helpful. You can't really use a frying pan for everything, right? So, but an oven is nice to do baking and making pies and stuff in the oven, which my wife likes to do. So, yeah, just the Bali thing is just a matter of deciding about Bali or not. And can we make it feasible based on, the cost to basically now live in this place and so forth. So yeah, B2 is intermediate. B2 is upper intermediate. That sounds more fancier. I guess that's the way that the English language works out. Riley, North Carolina. Wow. Thank you for saying hello. Riley was, wow. You need that to obtain citizenship. Oh, you need to pass A2 in Russian to get citizenship in Russia. Okay. I'm not sure what the one I passed was. I had to do one for my EVP visa. And then for the next stage, I believe you've got to do it again. We were going to wait until we moved in and got everything sorted out here and we can breathe. And then now this Bali trip, if we can go or not, we don't know yet. So, examples of Half-Life. I'm not sure what the Half-Life is. Vance? Where do you get your inspiration for your cheerfulness? Oh, that's just every day. It doesn't need a lot of inspiration. This couple of days, I traveled down to these 3 cities in 2 days. And the fact that we were in the supermarket till 4 a.m, the guy came to me about midnight. He said, "Don't you want to go to the hotel now?" Because we traveled. He met me here at our house at 9 a.m. to get to the store for the 2 p.m. opening in Tula. And then 2:30 or so, 2:45, we left straight to Lipetsk. And then we stayed at the store from when we arrived until 4 a.m. in the morning. And I was actually working with the staff, helping finish the shop off for the grand opening. And I was in the fridges, and I was even doing the ticketing on the shelves. You know how they print out the tickets that they put on the shelf strips? The guy that can't read Russian and can't speak and read Russian, they gave me the pack of them in the refrigerator section with all the salamis and sausages, the kalbasa. They gave that to me to do. So imagine that. Russell, you can do the price ticketing, yeah? I'm much better at putting things on shelves when I'm told what to do. But yeah, no, I figured it out. And I mean, even doing something like that, I mean, the guy asked me there, you seem so happy about doing this. I'm like, well, I worked in supermarkets in Australia. I did merchandising in supermarkets for new store openings, or when they built new entire supermarkets, exactly what we went to do for the 2 days. So yeah, I don't need a lot of inspiration to be happy. Even just going to new places, I met a ton of subscribers in the store in Oral. It's really like, it was one girl like came up, like hugged me and everything, and it was really amazing. Like, the chances of seeing me in Oral when I'm always doing videos in Moscow, right? Thanks for help studying English. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I've been to Helsinki. I was working in the shipyard in Kovanemassa yard in Helsinki. You guys are all meeting up in Bali. Definitely should. Yes. Well, my mum and dad were not meant to know we were going to come. It was going to be a bit of a surprise if we do turn up, because we're kind of in between, even mum said, I'm okay if you don't come, because you've obviously got commitments with your new apartment, right? So, and we want to really get things sorted out and, pay to get the curtains done, and the oven. We'd love to change the floor in the lounge room as well. Whoever laid the wood flooring, this vinyl flooring, didn't do a very good job. And it's strange the way it got laid, and it needs replacing, but it's not critical really. But Rollo, hello. Also, I thought that ethnic dungeons from northern China. Yeah, there's. I guess if I go to somewhere like Globus, like the big hypermarket, supermarket, they'd probably have spring rolls. But any of my local shops, I've not seen them. So, keyboard error. Greetings from Nottingham. Oh, hello. I was going to try and watch some football. I think I might have missed all the matches today in England. I watch via live streaming the UK football matches. I was going to check when the next darts, the world's, what's it called? The darts league, the darts championships. They've got the league that they're doing, Super League, I think it's called darts. I'm not sure when the next round of that is as well, especially for reheating things. Yeah, well, I guess we don't really reheat things. There was a microwave left here when we moved in. It's a bit of an old one, but it works. But yeah, this air fryer, and then this pork. I want to do pork belly to make pork crackling, so anybody from UK would know about it. But what I got today was like pork ribs with the skin on, and then I scored it and put the salt and the oil. But it was more like ribs than it was. You'd have to just. It's hard to explain about. Can I just get the pork skin to do just the crackling? So I just returned from 10 days in Russia, a week in Moscow. Loved every minute. Oh, cool. Hope you managed to get around and see some things. If you had a week in Moscow, that's pretty easy to get around and see things. We even taken our family from Ufa in Moscow. Yesterday, my wife went with them to Vorovivo Gore and where the state university is. They went down to where Luzniki is. They walked along the embankment there. And then I went yesterday to film an apartment tour video, which if you follow me on Telegram, I posted that yesterday. So that won't be out for a few days yet. So first the train video will be the next video. People lived above the flood areas and the poor people were lower class. Wow. Upper class and lower class. I guess on cruise ships they have that as well, right? They used to have it, like on the Titanic and stuff, like first class, second class. That'd be pretty cheerful living in Moscow too. Yeah, I mean, look, the weather is the weather. I mean, we're all hoping for more sunny days and warmer weather, but the last week has been cool and overcast, and on Victory Day it was like snowing. Actually, when we drove down to Tula, it was snowing on the way down there. And then we went after the opening of the store. We went to get a coffee in next door. There's a supermarket next door, another supermarket. It's quite funny. We went there to get a cake and a drink and a coffee at the next supermarket rather than in the one where we were doing the opening. And it was like snow just came down. It was like 4 seasons of weather in one day. Best regards from Indonesia. Oh, apa kabar? Bagus. Why not go somewhere new like Vietnam instead of Bali? Well, the whole thing with Bali is because of my parents' wedding anniversary. They planned the trip since last year, so they're going to stay 2 weeks in like a small family-run hotel. It's like only 10 or 12 room hotel. They like somewhere nice and quiet. They're not worried about the Kuta and the Legian and the busyness and stuff. So it would be to go and join them for their wedding anniversary. And much love from Tokyo. Hello, Shogun Crypto. Thank you for thumbs up. And 123 viewers. Thank you so much. I can see that on my other screen. And 156 likes. So if you've done a like or a thumbs up, thank you so much. Come on and go to Bali. I'm from Indonesia. Yes, I would love to go over there. Well, it's not really about going for a holiday. It's about going to meet my parents and spending probably a week with them. And pretty much just probably sitting in the pool, having a couple of bintangs. And that's about it. Not really doing anything overexertive. My mum and dad are not really into going on day trips and tours and going up to Ubud and things like that. They're not bothered about that. It's too mainstream. Please come to Sumbawa Island and from Bali. Well, we like to go to Gili Air, which is not very secretive anymore. There's lots more secret Gili Islands beyond Gili Air. But we love it over there because it's just very quiet. You can walk around. There's no motorized transport on the island. So, yeah, it's very easy. Arsenal Man City is today. Oh, yes. Let me just click the page and do football live. We can see what time the match is. Oh, full time. It's finished. Was today, Raymar. It was today. It's full time and finished. There's no more England matches now. Full time in Spain. There's one last Spain match, one last Italy match. Roma Atalanta. So maybe no live sport tonight. There might be some car racing on, like NASCAR or something like that I can watch. Or maybe there's some snooker. I like to watch some kind of sport on my other screen while I'm doing YouTube on the other one. So Maluku, Papua. Yes. Halor Island. Yeah, I'd love to go. I mean, we don't really backpack when we travel. We carry a luggage. And even going to Gili Air with a luggage, you look a little bit like you're a tourist too much when you're getting off the speedboat on the sand. The boat takes you right up on the sand to the beach. And you just walk to your hotel room or little bungalow. And you come with a big luggage. You look a little bit like, what are you doing? You just need shorts and flip-flops for a week. Chris in Boston, hello. I would love to see a video from a Russian nature reserve. Can you visit one in the future? There's a lot of parks in Moscow that are very much just forest. They're very well kept. I don't have a car, so it's hard to get around beyond public transport on trains and buses. So going anywhere outside Moscow region is a little bit harder than it would seem. Where would you recommend we go? We have been everywhere in the States, Canada, and Mexico. Where do you recommend? Wow, Bermuda, Italy would be a place I'd go back to. I'd go back to Las Vegas and go to a few shows. Or I'd go to Orlando and go to some theme parks. I never got to go to the one in Ohio. There's a theme park in Ohio. I can't remember the name of it, but I never got to go to see that. That would be what I would do. Italy, I'd go back to because I spent time there working on the cruise ships at the shipyards, and pretty much because you're there for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, you kind of become a little bit localized, getting off in the town where the ship is and doing normal things, and it becomes normal. It's not just that you're on a holiday because you're living on the ship and then you're immediately in the town where the ship is. You look warm in your I put this on for the video specially. It's actually Greg Norman, the great white shark. My wife bought me this when we were in Australia back in October from one of the golf shops. She wanted to get me a nice, proper polo shirt. So that's what my wife bought me. So I just wore this for the video. It's actually a tiny bit too big for me, but it feels very nice. It's like a bit fancy for me. Arthur. Yeah, about the IKEA stores, right? Yeah, I mean it's interesting, right? So the whole idea. I mean, I didn't get through all the comments because I published that video on the drive back to Moscow, so I didn't get a chance to really go through all the comments. But so the stuff in the store is produced either in Russia or Belarus in factories that IKEA used to make products for IKEA in Russia or for export outside of Russia. So they had their own factories, and then they used factories under license or third-party factories to produce goods that were IKEA labeled, packaged, logoed, and everything. So the stuff in there is the exact product. So the Alex drawers are now called Alexei drawers. They had to change the names, of course, but the same box, the same cardboard, the same everything. And then the one at Shelkovskaya metro station, it's like on the 3rd level in there. That's got like it's a small store again, but it's got a kitchen section as well with kitchen stuff. Whereas the one in the last video is pretty much just furniture related stuff. How are things in steerage? Yeah, it's like that for crew because you live under the waterline in steerage. Are there record stores there? Yes, Creative Faye. We had a Telegram traveling with Russell meetup in Moscow about 2 weeks ago now. And when we were going to meet beforehand, there's a headphone shop. And it's the largest in the world headphone shop that sells headphones. And they also sell stereos and record players and records. Now, it didn't have a very big record store, but I'm going to go back and film a video there because it's a cool shop with a million types of headphones. And they even had like the podcasting mics, and I don't think they had the boom arms and a lot of very high-end hi-fis and stereos and speakers and stuff like that for audio. Eggs that aren't refrigerated in the grocery stores are very difficult to what I've seen. Is that common? Yes, it's very common. Any shop you go to, my local shops. Actually, depending on so I've got 7 supermarkets within 1 kilometer walking distance. I could pretty much go to all 7 in about an hour if I wanted to go to every one of them. So one has them in the fridge, one doesn't. One does, one doesn't. And it's very normal. From non-frozen chickens. That's it. The chickens are heated. Enjoy spending a day at a popular. My wife would love to do anything like that. Yeah, Mississippi and all these places, and it's probably a bit too fancy for me doing those things. I'd much rather just go to any bar and have a cold bintang. And the more local, the better. Or any bar that's got a TV with some sport on. And just having a chat, I'd rather do that. These beach clubs tend to be more Australian prices for going for some drinks and food and stuff like that. But yeah, my wife would love to do that kind of thing. My parents aren't kind of come to Russia. My mum would like to. My dad's not bothered. He's happy enough with a 3.5 hour flight to Bali to go there and relax in the pool and relax on the little balcony of the little room that they've got there that they're going to stay in. They're going to stay at the same place they stayed last time. So yeah, it's probably easier for me to meet them than it is for them to meet me here at this end. Pot crackling, yes, it's good. Oh yes, Cedar Point, yes, that's where I want to go. If I just missed out, actually, I'd love to go to the Masters Golf. There's a couple of bucket list things. By the way, I shared your sentiments about seeing those Aussie tanks in Moscow. Yeah, well, the kind of rephrase it really. A damn shame on such taxpayers' money that has been wasted. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Josh. Jason. Sorry, Georgiou. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. So yeah, the Bushmaster there, like, okay, somebody said, oh, it's not worth 2.5 million, it's an old model, it's this, it's that. But probably the amount of money they put into the whole program of designing them, building them, prototyping them, finishing them, that's where they get that 2.5 million price. And then obviously when they're using it with, economic package to send it to Ukraine, that's how they price them, because they're essentially giving the older models and then building new ones for the military stock in Australia. And they didn't essentially send them to Ukraine, they sent them to Poland with the keys in the engine, the keys in the ignition, and that's it. They left them sitting there. They don't bring them to Ukraine in any way. They're left in Poland somewhere in like a assembly area. Yeah, oh, Kings Island in Cincinnati. So there's a couple of places then. Oh, wow. I know Cedar Point because I've heard about it. It's got like the most roller coasters. It's exactly the same quality. Yes, Vizio. It's the products in the store are from the exact factories where IKEA was making the products, either for Russia or for export, either to other CIS countries or even to China. China, the way Trump says China, or to Europe. So IKEA were making furniture in Russia for export out of Russia to Europe. So they lost that market instantly the minute that they stopped all, goings on in Russia with IKEA. Yeah, so it's exactly the same product. I guess I'm trying to explain it in 3 videos 3 times, but it still is a kind of a interesting topic about it. Sumbawa, yeah, a lot of these islands probably need a few months to do like the proper, like backpacking trip to all these islands. Flores, these places. There is a Russian stock market. I'm not sure about how active it is. So you can do day trading. You can get apps on your phone. Tinkoff Bank, I know you can do like trading of the kind of the bigger companies in Russia. Arizona, 87 degrees. We are already in summer here. Beautiful, Janice. We dream of that in Moscow, especially in May now and June coming up. Come on, we need warm weather here. Am I coming to the Caribbean World Cup? No. If I was working on cruise ships. When was that? Was that 2018? When was the World Cup in the Caribbean? I was on cruise ships back then at one point. Was it before that? 2014? I don't know when the World Cup was there. And they even chartered cruise ships to do as hotels in the ports where the matches were being played. No foreigners in my area. Is it less compared to the past? Where I live, I'm 50 kilometers from Moscow. So I've never met a foreigner that lives in a Prelivka for sure. When I went to the tank thing, I've been 3 times there. I went once with a friend, didn't film, and I went to make my video early morning. And I went back a second time when I made the second video. And that second time when I was there, I met an American guy with 2 kids who I didn't see before, or he doesn't have a channel or anything like that. Just randomly. Actually, I heard the kids speaking English, and then I asked them where they're from, and then the father was there, and we chatted for a while. And then I met a guy from, oh my gosh, Bulgaria. guy from Bulgaria there. And at the time when I was there that day and then the day before, there was a lot of Russian media there, TV channels, and they were actively looking for people who weren't Russian to put on the TV, especially on the local news and stuff, and to get opinions. And I got asked a few times, do I want to be on the Russian TVs? To ask, I'm Australian, what do you think of your Bushmaster? And I just sort of said no and declined, and they were completely okay with it. But yeah, you see Chinese, especially the day before when we walked in Moscow and Red Square and Zaradi Park. See a lot of Chinese. I think a lot of the tourists in Moscow now come for Victory Day, so a lot from other CIS countries. I mean, I'm not out and about every day, so I'm not walking in the tourist areas where you would expect to see tourists. So thank you so much, Pavel. Thank you for nice. Australia and New Zealand have the ANZACs, Australian New Zealand Army Corps. Yeah, I guess they do rely on each other, and it's kind of a pact that they've had forever. The ANZACs, and that's actually kind of similar to Victory Day. We don't necessarily, for Anzac Day, we don't celebrate like a victory of something. It's basically about remembering the fallen and present, past, present, and emerging militaries between Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, Anzac Day. Russian travel show where the showrunners stopped for the night at a private inn owned by a local family. They are so old-fashioned they don't use smartphones. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to travel around some of the smaller places in Italy. I mean, to do train trips there. And David, if you're watching, he's also a very big supporter of my Traveling with Russell chat on Telegram. David is posting photos and videos every day, making everybody jealous that he lives in Italy. Yeah, it would be nice to go to some of these towns and have. When we were there on the shipyard, we used to go to a little cafe nearby the gate of the shipyard. And essentially it was the mother or the grandmother cooking food. And they had a menu, but pretty much whatever she cooked that day was what the menu was. And just such a different feeling to going there as a tourist and going to the main points of interest and stuff, Cape Verde. I've never been there, so I can understand older people being daunted by the journey from Oz. Yeah, right. I mean, even stay a day in Dubai or something, or do 2 days. Yeah, mum and dad have traveled back to the UK a couple of times to see relatives, but now they haven't bothered doing that in the last few years. The Bali trip's enough, St. Pete. Hello, Stick in St. Pete. There's an Australian YouTube channel called Sticks, and instead of stick with an S at the end, they make nice videos. It's freaking cool in Moscow. Still wearing my coat. Yes, it is cool. Still wearing my winter coat in the evening. When will summer come? Yeah, I wore my, I call it my Tucker Carlson jacket. I've never owned one in my life. My wife got me to buy one back in Australia. This, like a puffer jacket, I call it. And I've never owned one in my life before because I would either have a winter jacket or nothing. And I put that on today just to go to the shop and back. I'd have worn a hoodie if it was warmer, but it was cold. In Macedonia. Oh, Kakosi. Is Kakosi the same greeting in Macedonia as it is in like Serbia, Croatia? And Djokovic lost today in the tennis. And they were booing him apparently. Never North, only Macedonia. Thanks. Oh, North, you're right. Okay, there's sins of fashion families in Sicily. It's normally in the 21st century. Just play the guitar. Yeah. I just want to eat the food. Just some pasta. Is marrying an Aussie. She can't wait to start or take part in opposition government. Love your channel. Wow. In Yerevan. Nice to see you're doing a live. Yes, it's been 2 weeks, Fireflux, since I did my 3 weeks. No, well, 2.5 weeks, I guess, since the last live. Yeah, I should normally do them on Saturday nights or Sunday nights. Actually, Vitali reminded me when is the next live stream. And I was busy working on the subtitles of the train video, and I've done I've corrected as much as possible, but there's still spelling mistakes forever. So Google auto generates the spelling of the subtitle track, and then you can actually correct the spelling. And I did some of it, but it's just endless because the more you talk in a video, the more you got to correct. So yeah, if you actually interesting about the tank video, I mean 800,000 views. It's amazing how something so trending at the time can get so many views so quickly. I mean, the train video that I'll put on after the live stream, I don't think is going to get so many views initially, but maybe over time it will gradually come back. It's the newest train in Russia, the Volga 4.0 electric commuter train, I guess it's called. It runs from Prelivka, my local station, to Zelynerodnaya on the other side of the eastern part of Moscow, 86 kilometers, 87 kilometers. I watched back the video today and remembered what I'd said. So yeah, it's a kind of a unique video because it's me doing it in English and talking about it. So it's not something that's on YouTube already. So I want to publicly keep out of the public. Yeah. So Jason, they normally just ask fairly generic questions, and how much you want to talk beyond that is up to you. They would probably just ask me, what do I think? What is your feelings and stuff like that. But that day I just I got asked 4 times. So, because I'm walking around with my camera filming, and then people catch they catch their ear of me speaking in English, right? So commemoration. Yes, that's what really Anzac Day is about. Missed the beginning. Sorry, Alex. Yes, no worries. Sorry, I did kind of not overly promote what time I was doing the live stream. Yeah, my nose has been blocked for a couple of days. I think it's being in the fridge so from leaving the house to getting home, it was 35 hours from leaving Prelivka, driving to Tula, driving to Lipetsk, driving to Oral, and then back to Moscow. And we opened 3 supermarkets. Well, not me. I just sat in the car, went there with the guy, and everything was already there when we got there. And then on the overnight part, when we meant to go to the hotel, we stayed at the store because it wasn't finished and ready. And there's a lot of stuff that would not have got finished if we didn't chip in and help. And that's me just getting out of the car, offering to do whatever they needed to do, like unload the truck, use the forklift, pick up the garbage, sweep the floors, put the ticketing on the shelves. And I think because I was in the fridge, I had a hoodie on and a hat, but I think maybe I should have had a bit of a thicker jacket on in the fridge. When I worked in the supermarkets in Australia, they actually have jackets hanging up at the fridge doors that you put on when you go into the fridge, regardless of how you feel. And I think that's just caught up with me. Australian American food. Australia, I can get what's it called? The ginger ale, Bundaberg ginger ale. I can walk from my house. Where I went today to the Rinnock, I can get Rinnock is a food store or food market, and they've got Bundaberg ginger beer there. There is a market in Moscow called Danilovsky Rynok, which is a kind of a fancy food market, come cafeteria, it's hard to explain. It's a food market. Anyway, they've got an Australian guy that's got a little takeaway place there with meat pies. That's pretty much it for Australian food. American food, I guess, a lot of fast food sort of stuff, chips, snacks, any candy. Mondelez is still in Russia, so all of the biscuits and stuff you can still buy. Big Sveperub, yes, you can get that here in Russia, but I haven't. My wife wanted to give me a nasal spray, so I'm probably going to have to do that before I go to sleep tonight, I think. Shannon in New York, hello. Oh, yes, and happy Mother's Day, right. I sent a message to my mum earlier. Carlos, thank you for the super chat. What's your favorite Russian dish and drink? Now, unfortunately, for cool drink, it's Chernogolovka. The moment I'm liking the cola. Tahoon, I'm not a big fan of, although occasionally I'll have it. Tahoon, which is the green kind of one. I'm not a big fan of it. Food, pilmene. I know it's my wife doesn't make it though. It's the frozen ones that we buy in the store. When we went to our family in Ufa, and my wife's auntie, she makes it literally in the kitchen. Beautiful stuff. And then she also does pancakes too, with homemade, homegrown strawberry jam. Yeah. And my wife does plof, which a lot of the dishes are not necessarily Russian. That's the problem with that. I mentioned all these dishes, and it's Ukrainian or it's Georgian or it's Armenian. It's not always Russian dishes. But my wife's version of plof is very nice. Even unfortunately though, there's a lot of places where, like, even if I just go to the cafeteria at Global supermarket, I'll end up just getting spaghetti or a pasta dish. My wife would get like grechka and cutlets. Cutlets. Cutlet. I like the fact that I'm sort of saying them with Russian accents a little bit. Yeah, today, basically, I just made my own pork and mushrooms, and my wife's got the borscht soup on the balcony waiting for me after the live stream. So, and even that's not technically Russian, but it's, got a Russian twist to it, right? So, Gunners, ice a small amount of ginger ale. No, I haven't had a Gunners, no. 50-50 Agustin bitters, ginger ale and ginger beer. Last time I had ginger beer was when I had with Bermuda Black Seal rum. It's the dark and stormy. Thank you, Carlos, for the super chat. Thank you so much. I'm probably not as adventurous as I should be with Russian food. When I go to friends' houses or I get invited somewhere, I'll definitely eat whatever's on the table, because it's normally a table of food. So where there's like fish or dried fish or salty fish or pickles, gherkins, I'll definitely Olivia salad. My wife makes very nice Olivia salad, or winter salad. She pretty much makes it just a bowl and I just eat it from the bowl. Don't even put it into a little dish first. She knows I'll pretty much finish it all. Don't really listen to any music at all. Excuse me. Pretty much watching live sport or home renovating shows. I like to watch those. That's my entertainment. I'm trying to get my wife to watch them with me, but she's not overly fan of watching. Yeah, Bundaberg. I don't know how it gets to Russia 2 years after things aren't in Russia. They come through parallel imports, of course, but they're definitely the Bundaberg original bottles, and then they've got the import label on them. They put a white sticker over the back of the label with the Russian description of the ingredients. So they probably come through Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or somewhere. I'm not sure. Maybe through Poland or Belarus. Wow, Gunners was a drink for the officers on duty in India. I'm not sure if they sell the nasal strips here. My wife always has the nasal spray. I don't feel bad though. My energy and my body feels completely fine. It's just the nose, and especially when I'm talking a little bit now, I don't have any ailment. I don't have headache. I don't have anything like sore or anything. Russia. My wife doesn't really want to be on YouTube, Alex. So yeah, she can cook, definitely. Pastry wraps with mince, yes. They look interesting, but would like to know how to make them. Yeah, you really need like babushka or grandma or mother to do that. Not really. Okay, my wife can make them, but she doesn't. It's easy just to buy them. You need a lot of patience and time to do it as well. Yeah, the different types of pilmeni, basically it's the pastry with the meat filling inside. As our Bellini, yeah, pancakes, Bellini, yes. Is that okroshka soup? What's this word in Russian? Is it going to translate for me? No. Okay. I don't like okroshka soup, which is kind of like the cold soup with kvass. Did you get your apartment? Yes, we're in the apartment. If you've watched the video of the Russian low-cost apartment tour, that's this apartment. I think a lot of people end up realizing as we've moved apartments, it's the apartments that I've toured, that I've made videos about, that is this apartment. So if you recognize these glass blocks in that last video. Yeah, we've been here now, well, at least a month. Probably 6 or 7 weeks since we moved in, give or take. Yes, so we're definitely here. You put over your nose and it opens your nasal pass and helps you breathe. Yeah, I would imagine they do sell them, but I've never looked. I really don't buy things in pharmacies. My wife does, and we have a cupboard of things. I think every Russian house has a cupboard of it's like pharmacy at home. I think any Russian would completely agree with me. Oh, shishi. The cabbage soup is definitely a Russian dish. Yeah, my wife tends to mix up the ingredients in the borscht as well, so we kind of get different versions of it each time. Has gone international now. I think we can blame others for adopting it as well. Yeah, sort of. It's kind of a take. It's not quite potato salad, but you could call it similar to potato salad in terms of a Western description of it, the Olivia salad. But different people also use different ingredients here as well. Some people put cucumbers in, some don't. Kentucky. Hello. She should do videos without her being on the camera, hands, and you talking. Oh, well, yeah, the kind of faceless, they're called faceless channels. I suggested she just does it in Russian. Just make a channel in Russian. That's it. I'll connect it with my channel so that it can still get monetized if she reaches all the thresholds. But it's hard to kind of convince somebody that just doesn't like doing it, So thank you, Alex. Yes. And then now the bigger problem is going to Bali or not. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone will tell me I should go to Bali, especially for my parents' wedding anniversary. You don't like maybe some traits of people. Honestly and truly, there's very little things I don't like. And pretty much, as is the Russian way, you don't worry or let it worry you too much when there's something not right or something's not good. So many little things that I could just complain about forever that I just stop doing. I don't bother anymore, And I'm a person that lives here now, and I'm not from here. I wasn't born here, so it's not my country, And I'm not a person that should openly speak out about things that are right or wrong, I don't like. Okay, so little traits you mentioned there. So when I line up for the marshrutka, the bus from Sarajevo metro station to Aprelivka, it's about 30 minutes. The bus, it's a marshrutka. It's a small suburban bus that comes to our area. So there's always a line, and we all know exactly where we've got to stand in line to catch that bus for the last, 5, 7, 8 years. And then when the bus pulls up, obviously people start getting on. And then there's someone always comes and pushes in. But there's a line. Don't push in. That's it. Simple. People love it. And it seems to be a thing. Even like for the at the Victory Park, when I went there to make the videos, there's a Rostix or a KFC right on the corner nearby their entrance. And I thought, I'll just go get a burger. Went in there, it was crowded, like 1,000 million people. And the same thing again, people just push in front of somebody else who quite clearly they're not next, but they think they are. And occasionally I'll say something. I mean, I'll say it in English and they say that they don't understand, but they realize what I'm telling them when I'm telling them for doing the wrong thing. My wife doesn't like it if she's with me and I tell somebody off because she feels embarrassed about it. But if someone's done wrong, they need to know, right? So thank you, Bond. Yes, we're very happy for now. We'd like to do more things to change and fix, and everybody wants to change everything, right? When you first move in, but it takes time. We've done the essentials we needed to do to make everything comfortable. We'd like to get a few extra things but we just have to, I need to do more live streams, do more YouTube videos. My wife needs to work more, all those things. Lesnoy National Park in Moscow. I don't know this one. Lesnoy Ostrov. Quite a lot of times in the first few years when I was here, well before YouTube. I've done YouTube for 2 years, by the way. For a lot of the years before this, we'd go out to places and I'd just never pay attention to where they were, what we were doing. Either my wife would take me somewhere randomly or we'd go with friends to these different parks and nature reserves, all these kind of country houses with parks and stuff. And I'd never just pay any attention to where they were. Thank you, King. Yes. And if you really like apartment tour videos, yesterday I went to film a micro apartment, which it was actually an apartment that was bought by an investor. And the person I went with was the guy he kind of does the renovations of these apartments. And they split a 60 square meter apartment into 3 micro apartments. So there's a corridor when you go in. So there's a door that you open, the heavy door, like in any apartment. Then there's 3 more doors to 3 apartments. And there was 2 20 square meter apartments and 1 15 square meter apartment. And that includes the bathroom, 15 square meters. And that'll come out, I don't know, 4 or 5 days from now. So it might be an interesting video. He and I were talking about it. Could we live there? I mean, alone we could. With my wife and girlfriend, like his girlfriend, I think, couldn't. Right? Not a chance. My wife would be like Dr. Claw, right? Curtains are not expensive. Well, it's not, King. It's not about the curtains. It's about getting the curtain track put up as well. So, 15,000 rubles. We got a curtain company to come, who do the proper installation of the track in the bay window, because it's not straight window, right? It's like a bay window. And it was going to be 15,000 rubles for the curtain track to be properly installed and properly, like, custom made. And then we figured that we wouldn't get the professional curtains made. We'll just buy off the shelf ones from another store that we can just hang on the same tracks. So it's going to be maybe 15,000 twice. So about $300 for the track and the curtains. But it's nice dark blackout curtains, not you need the dark ones, especially for summer here. You can't have the thin ones with the light still coming in because it's not helpful. And the oven is just something that can kind of wait, but in some cultures there are things that are strange, but that is subjective and not necessarily meaningful. Right? Exactly. I've never been to Vladivostok. Have you been to Vladivostok? No, I haven't. And would stores like Globus be there? Globus is in other cities in Russia. I don't know if they've got them over in the Far East, though. They probably have Ashan. Ashan is everywhere as well. But pretty much most of the other major, like Perikrostok, Pitorichka, Dixie, Lenta, Magnet would all be over there. And they'll all be exactly the same. So even if I went 5,000 kilometers over there, it'd be the same store. I could just say, I'm in Vladivostok. People wouldn't know that I'm not there. Russians can't stand alone the same situation as supermarkets. Yes. Yeah, I guess only in the express checkout, like in Globus, when there's the fairly busy express checkout, the self-checkout. Yeah, Russians can't normally stay in line. Even in and out of the metro. I mean, in Moscow, people know to stand at the side when the doors open, and then wait for people to get off before they get on. But then there's still that person that'll try to kind of get on even when there's a crowd of people getting off. And it's pretty much a given that to wait on the side of the door for someone to get off before you get on. But I guess it's just people that just don't want to conform to that rule. You should try queuing Oh, you should try queuing in China. Oh, the Chinese are worse. Okay. Have you visited? I've not made videos in all the underground metro stations. I've made only a couple of different videos. The video that'll come out today will be after this. Will be on a suburban train. And it's really about the train, not really about the places that I went to on it. But yeah, I could probably definitely do more metro station videos. I mean, there's what 250 stations, 300 stations almost between the MCC and MCD stations. Yeah, it's just a matter of just doing my twist on it and talking about what I see and how beautiful they are. For the practical and convenient point, if an unlimited Troika card for 30 days costs $30, if adding an unlimited electricity for 30 days is the same. Is that a question? For the practical and convenient point, if an unlimited Troika card for 30 days costs $30, you probably have to ask. I don't have it. I just have a top-up one. I just put money on it as I need it. I wouldn't get enough use out of it by paying for the monthly Troika because I don't go to Moscow every day of the week that I'd use it to go to and from every day to get that full 30-day value out of it. So I'm not sure how it works with putting for trains. I know it basically can work for trains, buses, even for the electric river tram as well. How do you get your foreign currency into Russia, Peter? We use a method which has worked for 2 years. We have somebody in Australia that assists us, who is a Russian who lives in Australia, in Perth, actually. And they assist us with bringing, well, not bringing Australian dollars here, but it'll end up being rubles in Russia. I don't use any cryptocurrencies, any transfer, anything like that. Obviously, you can't use foreign cards in Russia. Pretty much like where I've got all the different donation things set up with my YouTube, they all go. So the donation alerts, so where Anonymous did a donation 1 hour ago, that comes to my Russian card tomorrow morning, about 3:00 in the morning. If someone did Boosty, then it would come to me tomorrow as well. Boosty is a little bit more quicker. I'm not sure exactly the time frame of that, but if someone sent, for instance, PayPal, it would go to my Australian account. The donation alerts, super chats on YouTube would go to AdSense, which would pay on the 21st of next month into my Australian account. So I've got a way to get it to Russia, but I just don't, let's say, talk about it or reveal it because I don't want that method to stop working. That's what we don't need. 3 more doors. 3 more doors. Pavel, I'm not sure where I missed there. So, Peter, there is ways to get money here. If you fly here, you can bring 10,000 without declaring it. You can declare more and you can still bring it. It's just a matter of declaring it and being honest about what you're going to do with it when you bring it here. Thank you for the Sikhs. Anita. Sikh. Is that the Swedish kronas? Maybe this is off topic, but if you happen to know which dating apps or sites do Russians use, thank you. Love your videos. Russia is on the list of my top 3 future destinations. I don't know the dating apps. Because I'm married. And the friends I know are married. So I don't know. Maybe. Sorry. It's not off topic because people ask a lot of general questions in all of my live streams. Thank you for the Sikhs. And I just don't know the answer to that. So if somebody's single, yeah, you're asking a married man about dating apps, right? Obviously, there's every opportunity in the whole world to look at beautiful Russian girls on dating apps. The easiest thing to do in Russia is on a sunny day, just go to Moscow with very dark sunglasses on and walk around, catch the metro, and you can swipe left and right as much as you like because Russian ladies, girls, mums, stunning. And you'll see that in a lot of the videos, just the dress sense of people and the style of people. Even the children and teenagers and students, they dress properly and correctly. I'm not sure about the dating apps though, but I hope you can get to Moscow. From Oswego County, New York, just north of Syracuse. Have you had a chance to meet any celebrities or famous politicians? I haven't, no. I do keep getting asked to go on Russian television to do stories about current events. Someone recently asked me, one of the TV stations asked me about doing a show about the Australian Prime Minister. And I really don't follow Australian politics enough to have an opinion, even, not even just to say something. So I can't say I've met any celebrities. Probably literally walking around Moscow or going to places, people would be famous and I just don't know them. And I see quite often people wearing like Olympic tracksuits and stuff like that. And actually it was about last week or so, I was walking with a friend in Moscow, and we were in the shop just getting a drink at a convenience store. And there's a guy there with the full Russian tracksuit on, the shoes and everything. And I'm like, he must be either an Olympian or something. And he said that he was doing the Taekwondo. He's in the Russian Taekwondo team. So maybe he was either an athlete or maybe a coach. But I'm sure there is, and I just haven't known them or met them. Do the track and catch yourself. They're pretty flexible. Plastic. We don't really want the plastic ones. They take the wheels and the hooks arrangement. They're easy to fit. It sounds so easy when you have at least more than the IKEA toolkit with the screwdriver and the adjustable wrench and the pliers. I've kind of lost my neighbor here who would be my go-to. Gleb is now not in Moscow anymore to come and help me buy it and put it up on the ceiling and stuff like that. That would be super nice if I had somebody. It would be super nice. Andre, I don't have a lot of pet peeves in Russia. I keep a lot of things, like the pushing and line thing on the bus. It just bothered me forever. It really has. Even me complaining that we need a bigger bus so we wouldn't have to line up for the bus. It's something I can't fix. Just silly things that, so obviously just need fixing or repairing, like a broken tile on the steps and things like that. The handle on the handrail of going up into an entrance of somewhere, things like that. I mean, it's very interesting when I went to the supermarket tours and the openings. The boss that I was with, he was like the big boss of the company. He was a YouTube subscriber, by the way, who had seen my videos and wanted to invite me with him for this couple of days. And, just how relaxed he was with the staff and wasn't pushy and assertive and we need to do this, we need to do that, we should do this, we've got to do this. He wasn't like that, and he realizes that, people aren't on big salaries in Russia, that you should expect a lot of things from people, even like the guys out the back cleaning and sweeping and tidying up. There was so much garbage from opening boxes and displays and packaging, and any other boss would just have a big go at somebody. We got to get this tidied up. Oh, we got this expectations. And he was just so relaxed and chilled about it. It'll get done when it gets done, and that's it. Is it cold in Moscow? Because here in Kazan it's +1. And it's almost, yes, it's cool. It says +4 on my computer. What does it say on my phone? Or +3. +3 feels like +1. This time yesterday it was +10. Look at that. Partly cloudy and no rain. And what's tomorrow going to be? Monday is going to be +9 tomorrow. Ooh, heat wave. It's warming up. We'll have +17, 18 on the weekend. The air quality is good. Enjoy your usual outdoor activities. Thank you. It says the air is good outside. It's just cold to good. Electric cars. They're not a big deal here, no. There is electric cars, but they're not a big deal because they don't offer good battery and extended battery life in winter. And then also, if you don't have somewhere to plug it in and charge it, particularly if you live in apartments that don't have underground parking, like my building doesn't, then you need to figure out how to charge it. There is charging stations in Moscow. They are slowly coming to petrol stations outside of Moscow region, but the infrastructure is just not there to support everybody having electric cars. No update on the cat, no. Because now, if we go to Bali next month, then we'd have to have someone look after the cat. So everything keeps cropping up. Like this needs to be done, that needs to be done, this, so we didn't want to put the strain on it and then not being able to, look after the cat. And not a cultural thing. Yes. Underground rules. Common courtesy is an educational issue. Kazan. Hello from England, Russell. My wife is from Kazan. Have you ever been there? No. Republic of Tajikistan. Also from a holiday destination. Have you ever considered the Philippines? No. Double no. No twice. I work with a lot of Filipinos on cruise ships. I've never had that thought of going there as a holiday destination. Pretty much probably Thailand first after Bali. I know there's a couple of very nice places with amazing beaches and stuff in Philippines. My cousin who drove back to Ufa tonight drove through Kazan to get back to Ufa. Yes. So basically, my mum and dad have got their 50th wedding anniversary, 50 on the 15th of June. And my wife even said, look, if we can't afford to go together, the two of us, you can go on your own, go there for their anniversary, go for maybe a week. I mean, I wouldn't be able to spend a couple of weeks there, just with myself. Go there for a week, have the dinner, whatever you're going to do for their anniversary, and then fly back, right? And just figure out, can we make it work money-wise? We have met with you today. Have a good stream and good luck. Thank you. We have met with you today, Alex. Did we meet in the street outside? I met two different people today. Was that you that I was chatting to, Alexei? I read years ago that merchants, they prefer US dollars. Is that still true? Yeah, euros. US dollars and euros is pretty much the common currency here. Euros or US dollars. If I bring Australian dollars, they won't know what to do with them. You'd struggle to find anywhere to exchange them. Maybe Sam knows about it. Yeah, Fireflux. Sam's Russian Adventures. I'll tell you. Yes, that's why. Dating lessons from Russell. You also met my wife as well, right? So yes, if you want to know about this, Vitaly here is posting the Telegram chat link that you're more than welcome to ask any questions there as well. And Vitaly is a married man too, so he wouldn't know about dating apps. I hope he doesn't. Yes. I mean, I'm probably the worst at that. My wife thinks I live in the woods sometimes. California, Ivan, hello. Or Ivan. No, you're not happy about you miss IKEA? I miss it was an experience going to IKEA. I mean, I remember when it was in Tropolistan and you'd go there. I mean, we didn't have a car, so I've driven there a couple of times with Belka car sharing. But you'd go to IKEA, you'd go to the shopping center, you'd go to Ashan, and it'd be kind of a day trip, pretty much. I mean, and that was it, an experience. Even if you didn't want to buy anything for your apartment, you'd still go there and dream and think, and it'd be great to get a new set of drawers or something. Then you'd end up at the kitchen section, you'd buy new plates and the coffee cups and new picture frames. And then you get your hot dog on the way out. You're opening the eyes of people. Live life. Life is life. Exactly, Titan. Exactly true. Have you considered, can you legally offer support for visitors to Moscow? You mean for visas and stuff? And there is a couple of different visa agencies. I'm not into recommending visa agencies. I know Sam's Russian Adventure Channel. He's looking to get into that because he gets asked daily everything about like this. And he's now setting up a website around it all, where he can even do consultations with people who want to know the basics of coming to Russia. We've just topped the highest heat temperature here, 38 degrees. I mean, the one thing with summer here is you can get a 27 or 30 degree day or 26 degree day, and it feels like 35 degrees. I mean, I actually struggle a little bit with warm days in Moscow. It's very strange because when it's warm here, it feels like it's just hot, and I struggle with it. Whereas in Australia, when it's hot, I'm completely okay with it. And it's very weird. I don't know if it's just a body thing that's acclimatized to cooler weather now. 60 k's east of Munich, 22 degrees. Well, no, that's in Queensland. Is the Australia Zoo? I lived in Perth on the opposite end of the country, so no chance we'd know each other. Charging takes too long for EVs, right? It's a heat wave. Yeah, we're currently 8 degrees in Adelaide after 4 a.m. in the late autumn. Yeah, this is cool, by the way. For May in Moscow, this is unseasonally cool. Maybe if you saw the parade on TV in Red Square, I mean, I was a few hundred kilometers south of Moscow and it was snowing on the same day. To see snow during the day before was the inauguration, and then the Victory Day. I mean, just unseasonal weather, really. With no Russian for you. You can get around. I mean, you can do things. You can use Google Translate if you're really stuck. Buying food is quite easy. There's menus. You can understand things. I mean, probably in rural areas or provincial areas, it's a little bit harder because less people speak English. My biggest pet peeve in Moscow is cyclists racing on high speed on sidewalks. Yeah, and actually the electric scooters, like the delivery guys, that just cut in and out and everywhere around people. Yeah, that's. I don't know about the cyclists, but those guys are a little bit dangerous. The way they handle themselves driving around on the footpaths, and they've got the hand warmers. They've got these huge like mittens that they put their hands in because they're riding the bike for hours on end. Yeah, my wife always says the same thing about me being helpful, happy, and cheerful. And even these guys on this 2-day trip, the same way. I mean, how are you still on top of how are you still so happy? And after 2 days of essentially no sleep, and that's just how I am. Make a video from Yandex. I think people will be very interested still. It's a very large company. Yeah, I mean, there's Yandex Delivery and Yandex Food and Yandex Search. Love your content. Thank you, Wills. I've done one video with a guy from New Zealand. His name is Ben, and his Russian wife, kids. He's currently in New Zealand, but he's planning to move back to Russia with his wife at some point. He and I did a tour of the Globus supermarket. It's like one of the top 20 videos if you search by most popular. Probably isn't the best filming because it was one of my videos when I started YouTube initially, but gets the story across. Thank you. Thank you, house to house to home. Thank you to the 2 people who did donation alerts, by the way. And anonymous. It's fine. And thank you to people who did super chats. And now, for some reason, it's not automatically saving them, which it should do. So I can't see everybody's name anymore now to call out thank yous to them. Guys, we're going to go live for 10 more minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the live stream, and then I'm going to publish the train video. If you want to watch a new video on the channel immediately after I get off the live stream, it's probably a couple hours past the correct time to publish it. But I think people will appreciate to watch train content or me on a train. It's It's a electric commuter train, but it's brand new in Russia. It's made in Russia. It's a big deal for the train network in Russia. So with them, I know tickets are expensive. Yes. Yeah, you don't have 50 anniversaries very often. That's very true. My mum said it's okay if I don't come, but there's a bit of a guilty thing in me that says I should go because my sister will be there, her husband, and then my dad, of course, and then her sister and husband are coming, who I haven't seen for a lot of years. Have you been to Canada? I've been to some of the ports in Canada, Vancouver, Victoria on the west coast, and then on the east coast, I went to St. John's, Newfoundland, and then Halifax on the east coast. We did the New York, Canada cruises up that way, and then Alaska cruise on the other side. Hope I made it in time. Well, Monte Pulcino, is that where you live? We got 7 more minutes, David. And then we're out of here. And we'll have a train video on the channel. Try to live in KSA, 40 to 50 degrees here. Been here for 10 years. 40 to 50, no. Well, we have 40-degree days in Perth. Well, we did have when I was living there. But it's not constant weather that hot. Humid hot is totally different from dry hot. Right. I think that's the thing, right? That humid hot that we get here in Moscow. Because with Perth, for instance, it's close to the ocean. So you get that sea breeze and you get that afternoon breeze that will cool down the temperature. So you get hot weather where it's dry, but then you get the sea breeze and it brings down the temperature pretty easily. Whereas here, because you're kind of landlocked, you don't have that breeze necessarily. No, I think Moscow, St. Petersburg, maybe Sochi, first time coming to Russia. I think Moscow, St. Petersburg, 100%. Any of the other cities, obviously, a smaller population. I mean, there's still a lot of things to see and do, but it's just a matter of geographically how far they are from things. I've not made a video about this 9th of May because it's pretty much televised on TV. People don't go to Moscow on that day unless they have an invite to get into Red Square. I mean, there's going to be a few people that you'll see in other videos where there's people on the streets, but they block off so much of it that you just can't get close to anything. The marching part is all inside the Red Square. You don't really see them outside of that, where they assemble just nearby. They come out of buses, they get bussed in to meeting points, they do the march, they get bussed back out again. So it's just a challenging day to go, excuse me, to film and to make reasonable content. Dry heat over humid heat. Electric scooters, yeah, they're not probably as big a thing. Maybe in parks there are. You don't see them as, and they're definitely everywhere in Moscow, the scooters. The most popular grocery store, the Russian typical grocery store. Pitorichka, 22,000 of them in Russia. These are really close to home supermarkets, so it's hard to explain that difference between these close to home supermarkets and then full supermarkets like a Globus or an Ashan or Perikrostock, where they're more bigger format supermarkets. And there's a lot of other. I mean, there's, especially if you live nearby apartments or even houses. Even Vitaly will tell you where he has his dacha or country house. He has very nice shops immediately nearby that he doesn't have to even go to big supermarkets to buy things. Yandex International Taxi Support. I love your food store videos. The world is different, but everywhere is the same everywhere. Right. Exactly. There you go. Thank you. Hello. Здравствуйте. How has Russian officials ever contacted you about your channel? No, not at all. My local administration did, because I helped them clear snow. This is 2 years ago now. And they called my wife to invite me to the administration to thank me for helping clear snow in my local streets. But no one's ever called, contacted, nothing at all. Be nice if they did, then I could get more contacts to get more help with filming in other places. But Montreal in the summer, and I can't. Yeah, this humidity, right? Go to a Greek island. That would be nice. Can I do a video about cars, specifically the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Russian ones? It's our family of 5 plus mother-in-law, so 7-seat SUVs or minivans. Yeah, I'm trying to go to the to see Aurus, which is the one that Putin drove in, or he didn't drive it, but the Shoigu did when he came into Red Square for the Victory Day. To go see the Aurus Sonat, you can go to dealerships that have got them. I guess I could make car videos. I was just thinking about doing, with summer now coming up, going to more parks and outdoor stuff. Then for winter, I can save it for indoor stuff. Thank you. Lots of thank yous. With snowing, yeah. This year, snowing cats and dogs. Yes, we'd had some very big snow, even in Moscow, big snow days. Okay, everybody, I'm going to slowly wrap up. 4 minutes from the end, but I'm so interested in your video tours of this city. Thank you, and you live in Moscow. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I talked to the guy today on the street here, and we were just talking about how I'd done a Pitorichka video. And I'd just come out of there, actually, when he bumped into me. And the curiosity of how it's got 1 million views of a Pitorichka video. But yet a park video in Paveletskaya Square in Moscow has not got as many views. And you'd think that kind of beautiful park video would get views, but people have got an interest in seeing a local, typical Russian supermarket called Prem. I should visit Prem. I always would say that wrong. Even Tvar. I think I said that wrong in the train video. The train was made in Tvar, and I've said it wrong. And Oriol. I think I've said that wrong for 3 days in a row that I've been going to see this place. I feel bad for everybody that said it wrong. And a few people corrected me, but I think a few people were kind of being nice about it. Thank you, John. Yes, Vitali there has put the link. If anybody wants to jump over to the chat, I think we're nearly at 1,000. I think it's 850 people in the chat. The channel has about 2,500 people. So that's where I do posts, and it kind of jumps over to the chat anyway. So you can join both or just join one of them. Join the chat at least, because you see the same post that I do there. Curtains can always be purchased later. Bond, thank you. You voted about Bali. I'm going to end the poll because we're going to end in the live stream. Yeah, kind of, I think a few people, I just needed to explain it more to get that more than 50-50. 339 votes, though. 236 likes. Thank you so much. I love seeing likes on videos. Yeah, if you haven't watched any of the most recent videos, by the way, so there's a couple of the different tank videos. The one with the most views was the first one I did. Then I went back again and remade it with a slightly different title, but quite similar video. The second time I went, I was in the late evening when everyone was leaving. The first video, I was there in the morning. If you go there lunchtime, it's just ram-packed with people. You just can't get close to things because it's a popular park to go to. And obviously with Victory Day, people go to that park as well. So it kind of had a big kind of Armageddon of Snowmageddon. What's it called when there's a lot of people doing something on the same time? So it's interesting. I mean, seeing an American tank on the cobblestones in Moscow, that's the interest for me. And I guess I should sort of film that kind of style of video where I just ask why, how, why, and just engage with people commenting about it. So it's just interesting. I think it is. I think it's because in the West we are told that Russia is suffering from sanctions. It's nice to see the truth. Thank you, Wills. Yes. Yeah, this is the thing with the stores, that people want to see empty supermarkets and empty shops. I mean, look, the first months after everything kind of changed about 2 years ago, the shopping centers were empty because stores closed. They've all reopened either with new names or with new businesses in them. mean, my shopping center Salarevo there, barring maybe one shop, which I think is just changing stores in a couple of places, everything is open. So the shopping centers are fully trading because they won't stay empty for long, right? I think there's an expression like Russians don't sit on their hands for too long. I don't know how to say it properly, but yeah, in the end of the day, people do care about their favorite brands, of course. I mean, I'm the same with my Skechers, my trainers or running shoes, Skechers. I mean, I can still buy Skechers in Moscow, but maybe not as big a selection as there was before, but that's my shoe brand that I like. So I go to a Skechers store to buy Skechers. No. It doesn't influence at all. Experiences living in Russia. This is exactly how I do my live streams. I've never been a political person before I did YouTube. I was never in Australia. You don't really talk about politics anyway with each other. The politicians do their thing, the government does their thing, and it's not a topic that you talk about unless it's maybe a week before the election or after the every 4-year election. So, I mean, my friends or family and stuff don't talk about any of it because we don't. So it's never been a part of my conversation. So it's not really a thing. Supermarkets are empty, right? Peter, thank you for the super sticker. Right as I'm about to end the live stream, thank you so much, and to all the people who did super stickers or super thanks. Okay, it's super thanks are on other videos. If you're watching a video and you want to do one, you can. If anyone would like to help me get to Bali, you're more than welcome as well. It's just something that's on your mind, about money. Money's can be good and bad all the time, right? I mean, it's just something you've got to kind of not think about. Malls are boring. They are for some people, not for others. A lot of the malls in Russia are very multi-functional shopping malls. So like the one where I went to the Good Luck, the IKEA store, they've got a lot of home stores there, bedding stores, furniture stores, a lot of kids' playground kind of places where you can drop the kids off. So there are a lot more now than just clothes and shoes. Yeah, that's right. You missed it because it's the one place you can get everything, right? So the IKEA, as in the big superstores, are not in Russia. But if you watch that last video and then the SberBank video or the Enkel video, so there's 3, I guess, IKEA replacement stores. They're much smaller stores. They're about the size of a big shoe shop. But they've got the furniture that's from the factories that made the products for IKEA in Russia or for export. So it's the same products with a slightly different cardboard. Well, it's the same cardboard box, just a different sticker on. And actually, some of the stuff they have has still got IKEA packaging and labeling on it. Thank you, Andre. I should definitely go to Bali. Yeah, I'm very much like my dad, by the way. If you'd see my dad, or if I ever got him on a video. Thank you so much, King. Yes, exactly right. I mean, people find ways and means around things. I don't have it to show you. Well, I bought a Coca-Cola today from Afghanistan when I was buying when I went to the Rinak, or the food store. There's another lady that's got imported soft drinks. So I got the little Afghanistan can of Coca-Cola. See you later. Another video. Thank you, John. When will be the next live? It'll be next Saturday or Sunday. I like to just do them once a week because that's just the way I do it. So it doesn't bring sadness. That's true. And your name's Tcash. It's very true. Doesn't always bring happiness. Yeah, since I've lived here, I've not thought about money as much as probably what I did in Australia. In Australia, it was more because, the rent was higher, the bills were higher, what I needed to pay for things was more. So I always had to think about earning more to spend more. Whereas here, I've not got that thought nearly as much in my head. Yeah, King. So there's 3 videos on the channel. Pretty much the last video on the channel before this live stream is about the IKEA replacements. Thank you, Jason. From Maui, thank you. Hi from Maui. God the Son, Jesus Christ, thank you so much. Waiting for live streams from Bali. Well, it's a month away. It's not. If I would go, it'd be on the. I think we looked at the dates. The 9th of June or 10th of June, we'd go there, or 11th, I think, as well was another date. Then the dinner would be 15th, and then we weren't really open to a date coming back. Hope you can get some money, man, whether it is through your ad revenue donations. I really want to be able to visit your parent. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's not so much going for a holiday again. It's just to go see my family, spend time with them. Obviously, my parents are getting older now, right? So, yeah, thank you, Vance. What's the airplane ticket cost to Bali from where you live? From Aprelivka? Well, from Moscow. The cheapest one we found was 80,000 rubles return, $800 return. That was with the China flights. China Eastern Airlines, which I've never flown before, but it's a cheap flight. We're just not sure how comfortable the seats are or how much legroom they've got. The Qatar one is about $1,000, about 100,000 rubles return. It was a little bit cheaper last year. For some reason, it's gone up, but maybe it's just gone up. So it's about 80,000 or 100,000 return. That's for me, for one. If I went alone without my wife. No, Afghan Coca-Cola. No, it doesn't say anything when you open it. I used to live in New South Wales, Lake Munra. Yeah, I'm from Perth originally, so I don't know all these places over in Sydney and Melbourne and places like this. Munmura. Yeah, I'm from Perth, which is other side of the country, right? So it causes death, violence, and destruction. Yeah, money. Yeah, so 80,000 rubles for if I was to buy a ticket with this China Airlines. Yeah, I've used the same king. I've used Qatar as well. My wife and I've traveled it a few times. About 100,000. I mean, we're looking at $200 more, so it's 400 for two people. So it just adds up when you kind of. Even when we're thinking about going to the airport, like the taxi there's about 3,000 rubles because we take the taxi to the airport rather than catching public transport. Just with luggage, it's easier. So you kind of factor in 3,000 there, 3,000 back. 20,000 more for the different flight tickets. So yeah, 80,000, 800 US. It's not 200 is not the 160, right? Yeah, it's just that other 20,000 is something we can do in the house here. We can get wallpapering done. We can get the floor changed. We can get the carpet. No, we wanted to get a couple of big carpet rugs for the vinyl flooring. Avia Sales is who we're using. Well, we're not going to book through Avia Sales. We're going to use a travel agent, which is one of my wife's clients. So she's the one that helps us find the tickets. We basically just find her the dates and what we've seen from Avia Sales and then send her a screenshot of that. And then she looks for that same one so we can just book it with her. So it's easier to use a travel agent for problems. Is it for a short Asian flight? Oh, okay. Thank you, Tom. China Airlines for a typical Chinese airline ticket. I did that when we flew to Ufa to do the airport lounge tour. I actually just asked them just for the lounge access, and they gave it to me. So they gave me just the lounge access. We had the same flight tickets, no changes with that. Actually, it allowed us to do the business check-in, but the line was no different. So, but I made a video in exchange for getting the lounge access. So, but I emailed them, and they said no worries. They sent a reply back. I guess they've got like PR who are happy to see positive video, right? Okay, so you've used China, it was good. Okay. Yeah, I guess it can't be that bad. I mean, I guess I don't have over expectations. Do they still say blokes and Sheilas in Australia? Not really. Sheila is a bit of very much a slang word for ladies. Blokes, you can say that about a group of men. Sheilas is very old Australian slang. It's not a normal word, really. Okay, everybody, I'm going to close now. We're 10 minutes over the 2 hours. Thank you for watching the live stream. We've got 100 people still watching live. We've got 250 thumbs up. Thank you for the super chats. This is going to be the barley fund or the oven fund. And to the couple of people that did the donation alerts, thank you. I don't check my Boosty or SberBank. Some people like to do SberBank, like bank-to-bank transfer. Actually, even in the Telegram channel now, there's a donation option. There's like a bot set up that does a donation option. And a few people have used the donation option in Telegram, and it sends to my account, I think it's like 2 times per month. And it's done it. It's worked correctly. Once this month, once last month so far. So, oh, you've lived in Russia. Thank you. Wordu Prussia. Yeah, I mean, you can even just buy one-way tickets, but then you're a bit stuck with the one-way back. Because we've seen where they offer tickets like at lunchtime today for the Qatar flight tonight. And then when you get, this is the problem with Qatar, though, they don't like you having a one-way ticket. They want you to have a return ticket. So I don't know how that works at the airport, you know. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, God, Jesus. Thank you. Bond, thank you. King, thank you so much. Adrian, Jason, I think if you're here still, Vitali and David. Maybe Andrea is here as well. Maybe Joanna is here. A few of the usuals from the Telegram channel. Okay, everybody, I'm going to put the train video now on the channel. So if you might happen to close this, you're going to see maybe recommended that video straight away. Or if you want to go to the channel physically, you'll see it being as a published video on the channel. Yeah, so enjoy the train video. If you want to post a comment under this video after it's finished, you're more than welcome to. I'll try to catch us up on some comments from all the videos generally now as well for the next half an hour or so. I'm a little bit talking too much now, so I need to de-stress a little bit after the stream. So thank you so much. I'll see you in another live stream. We've got lots of videos coming up this week because I've got 3 videos that I can put on the channel without even leaving the house at the moment. So, and that's including the train video now. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another live stream. Thanks for the nice comments and friendly chat for the last 2 hours. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody.